Hi guys, so on to the next episode of Boy Talk. This is an interesting one. Salam Thana. First off, you're amazing. I wish I had a friend. I know I could miss out those parts of the question, but I'm so vain. Don't judge me. First off, you're amazing. Thank you. I wish I had a friend like you. I don't have many friends and hardly any Muslim friends, and your baby girl is amazing as well. Okay, now, hey, I'm Kali Fatima. Don't care to be outed or kept private, whichever you prefer. I'm writing to you for some advice of sorts. I'm 29 in 2 months, never been married, no children, and new to the Muslim culture. I haven't yet physically taken the Shahada, but I have been practicing since August 2018. I'm also hijabi. Sometimes I question myself if I should continue being hijabi. There aren't many masjids around my area I live, so I have to travel far. The last time I went to one, I was just stared at and no one helped me or answered the questions I had. And I assume it's because I'm of African descent. I'm having a hard time entering into the Muslim community, so pray for me on that. Inshallah, it works out for me. Okay, just a couple of notes here. Just a couple of comments on this. I think it's so amazing that you've kind of opted to wear the hijab. It's so difficult. You know, converting in itself and then even taking the next step of actually wearing the hijab. Not sure why you haven't done the shahada yet if you're doing everything else. I would definitely look into doing that. I mean, it's just a shahada at the end of the day. So it's just one line. Just do it, man. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, if you've chosen this path, of course, like everything, I always say everything's with intention anyway. So regardless if you've said it or not, God knows what's in your heart. But I would just say it. Like, why not say it, you know? That's number one. Number two, that's not what the issue is, by the way. But yeah. Number two, please do not be put off by Muslim people. Like, Muslim people can be dicks. And you've got Muslim people that can be amazing. But do not let them, can even say majority, don't let people like that ever affect. Like, what I always say is never follow or never take from the followers of a religion. Take from the religion if they're probably not practicing it right. People that are start staring at you in the masjid, they're not practicing it right. People that aren't being helpful or welcoming to you, they're not practicing it right. So that isn't even an indication of what Islam is about. That's just them and how they were raised, and it's pretty shit. They need to go check themselves. So don't ever let that deter you or dishearten you in terms of your journey. Okay. Now on to my man problems. I have been single going on 1 year now. I haven't had any sexual activity since March 2016. Girl. Oh my God. I hear that. No, I'm joking. I can't. Okay. I'm having trouble adjusting to my new way of life and leaving my thought ways behind me. Oh my God. I actually legit love you. You're so funny. I'm tired. I've tried Muslim dating and regular dating, even though it's haram and it's mad difficult. The Muslim guys, both African descent and of Asian Indian, don't like that I'm not traditional Muslim or super conservative. And the non-Muslim guys don't like that I am saving myself for marriage. Even though some days I want to bust it open. Even though some days I want to bust it open. Oh my God, I cannot. Wow, you're so funny. I talked to one Muslim guy and we had almost everything in common. We talked almost every day for a month or a month and a half. We talked about kids, marriage, life, traveling together, and then out of nowhere he disappears. Blocks me from everything and never hear from him again. I was hurt and still am. Then I met another Muslim guy and he wanted to get married in 2 weeks. And I told him I wanted to get to know each other better, at least know his last name. And he told me I wasn't living right and he was following the law of Allah and told me to have a nice life and good luck finding someone to put up with that after only one conversation. I was shocked, and I'm always forthcoming with information about myself and honest, whether you like it or not, because I'm always going to speak my truth. So you can never say I lied to you, and don't allow anyone to steal my voice because I'm my own woman. Amazing. I see all these beautiful Muslim couples, and that's all I ever wanted. A good, God-fearing man that loves me unconditionally and a happy life. I've been dealing with years of conditional love from family, friends, and lovers. Any advice to help me on this journey? P.S. My past is probably way more colourful than yours, Thanna, because I wasn't born, raised Muslim. You want to know my story? Let me know. Okay, I wouldn't even make that assumption because you literally do not know. No, I'm joking. It's not. I always say that my past is so colourful. It's not that colourful. It's colourful, but it's not that colourful. But I can't, like, I don't really assume that yours is going to be worse. But you know, whatever. Teach them. Okay, so my advice, and I know it's going to sound so cliched, is just let it be. The reason why you've had so many bad experiences is because you've not met the right person. And you're doing everything right, absolutely everything. I can't really fault anything that you're doing. You're just not coming into, interaction with the right men. I mean, that second guy was a bit of a joke, really. Like, let's get married in 2 weeks because I'm living by the... No, I'm sorry, that's not what God says. Like, I just hate how they visualize God to be this, like this incompassionate, like, God. Like, that's not what God is. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to live on the straight path at the same time, but it doesn't mean be unhappy, get married to someone I don't know, and that's it. That's not what God wants. Like, just stop that bullshit, seriously. Anyway, you haven't met the right person. My advice is to, look, always, and I know you hear this probably all the time, but it cannot be more true. It will come when you least expect it. When you look for it, you start to find shit. That's the truth. Because when you're looking for it, your standards, without you knowing, they start to drop because you see shit, and then you see another shit, but that shit is better than everything stops. You need to not make it your goal anymore. I know it's such a lovely and beautiful thing to think about all these Muslim couples and you want that. Yeah, we all want that, but it cannot be in the forefront of your mind. It needs to take a back seat. When it takes a back seat, that's when it will come to you. Focus on yourself, or focus on building yourself. Like I said with the whole thing about the Shahada thing, those things are things that you can improve on yourself. Focus on being the best person you can be. You sound like an amazing person already, but focus on you. 100% go on these apps, talk to guys, talk to loads of guys. Don't just talk to one at a time. Don't do that. Talk to many guys. The more guys you speak to from afar, like without meeting and stuff, and the more single dates even that you go on, the more you learn about yourself, the more you become confident. I will always stand by this because it's true. The more, and no one's saying do haram. No, I'm talking about first dates. The more you go out and you put yourself out there, the more you become confident within yourself and you know what you want and you start to attract what you want. There is no point talking to people like that. That person was clearly not on your wavelength. The other person, like, honestly, he's probably got some issues. He probably was, like, married or something, or yeah, he was in a relationship and they were on a break or something and they got back to, like, don't use that as like an indication of this is what's to come now. Honestly, when the right man comes, you're going to know it. But you just have to be open to it, but not go out physically putting your all into searching for it. When you search for it, bad things happen. Bad things come your way. Because people see that vulnerability in you, that you're so desperate for a relationship, that they're able to kind of manipulate you and take advantage of that, in their words, in the way that they come at things, Whereas if you're just like, you know what, I'd like to be in a relationship, but it's not the be all or end all, people are going to be more likely to try and compromise towards you rather than you have to compromise everything towards them. So I would say keep doing what you're doing. Put yourself out there to some degree, but do not let it be your main goal. Do not let it be your main objective. That's when we start to blink ourselves and we start to lose sight of what we actually want, and that's when we get problems later on in the relationship. You want to be with someone? Absolutely, we all do. Like, really and true. I've told you guys a million times, I love being in relationships. That's my happy place, that's my go-to. But at the same time, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm so desperate to be in a relationship that I would kind of like, you know, skip things that I can deem to be red flags, or not even red flags, orange flags that I don't really necessarily want, just because I want that. I'm going to wait for the right person that will cross my path, and the right person will end up staying. That's just literally what it is. The right person is written for you. You might have one person in your life that's written for you. You might have many people that you have. I feel like I've had many people that were written for me, you know, but they weren't written for me for my entire life, you know, as my late husband or my first husband, etc. But 100% keep doing what you're doing. There's nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong with what you're doing. Maybe just remove the focus off finding a man and bring it back to your life. Like, I don't know, like, where you are in your life. I don't know what you've achieved in your life, but I'm sure we can all better ourselves. We can all achieve more. Put your focus into that. Go out with friends, meet new people. Put yourself, let people see you more. Let you be in the company of, like, you know, mixed groups and things like that, so people can see you more. They can see more your character. And generally, when you're mixing with friends of friends, they all kind of share the same kind of views and same ideologies and same values. So you're kind of not going to be in the position where you're finding this guy who's telling you, let's get married tomorrow, even though this is our first conversation. You guys remember my that guy I met off Tinder? I think I wanted to get married like the next day. And then when I said no, he called me, what was he? A slut? Was it? I was like, no. Scat. You fucking scat. I cannot. Proper psychopath. But anyway, just keep doing you. Don't let these experiences dishearten you. The only reason these experiences haven't worked out is because they're not for you. That guy, 100%. I think you could tell yourself that guy wasn't for you. So bye. The guy before that, again, wasn't for you because we didn't even know what his situation was, and it doesn't sound like it was a healthy situation. Like, I think he had something. I think he was looking at you as something on the side, and when push came to shove, he had to lock it off. Because, look, if he wasn't interested, just for not being interested, he'd kind of like just slowly kind of diet down. He wouldn't block you off everything. Blocking you off everything is shit his wife knows, or his long-term girl knows. That's all is about to know. That's what that says to me. So you've just not been lucky in finding the person or having experience or interaction with the person that could be the one, but it doesn't mean that they won't come. So yeah, just keep talking to lots of different people. You know, go on one date, single dates. And just keep your options open. Spread your wings, so to speak. Spread your wings so you can get a bit of every single individual. You can get to know different individuals, and in your mindset, these are all friends. That's what you're looking at them as. They're all friends. They're all friends, and you're getting to know them. And the one who's gonna shine, the one that's gonna come through, that's the person that's gonna end up taking it through to the next level, to marriage. So yeah, that's it. That's really my advice. I know it sounds really cliched and really like, oh, like, let's just like ring the roses in the fields and shit, but it really is that is exactly what it is. It will come to you when you least expect it, and you need to not be focused on it for you to least expect it. Because if you're always focused on it, you're always expecting it. You're always like, oh, is this the guy? Could this possibly be the guy? Could this possibly be the guy? I've been there. Like, when you're in that position where you're actually quite lonely, you just want to be in a relationship, you're just like, oh, every single person that you speak to, like, you hit off, like, that first conversation, you're like, I start to imagining, like, oh my god, like, yeah, how is this gonna, I don't even know the guy, barely know what he does, I'm like, how is this gonna work, how is he gonna get married, and, like, my daughter, and, like, I start thinking, like, way ahead of myself, like, sometimes, when I'm in that kind of zone, where I just want to be with someone, but, you know, it happens to the best of us, but you just have to regroup, and remind yourself of what's important. You want, at the end of the day, someone who's going to be good for you in your natural element, not for you for you, the version of you that's trying to find someone. But yeah, hope that helps. Anyways, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, send me your questions as well. askthanna@gmail.com. The email's in the description box. Don't forget to follow me on social media, on Snap, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.